Well, we look at the numbers as far as grades statistically, and we know how many kids are actually attending tutorials. So we look at those numbers, and we can kind of tell which students are benefiting from it, and which students are not using it like they should.
Okay. And so the next question is, how long are you planning on keeping or going forward with using Smart Time?
Well, that's above me. That's a school issue, not a law enforcement issue. I think the idea behind it was very good. I don't think it's really successful as a whole. And the reason I say that is the kids that get A's and B's that want to maintain that grade point are using it, and the kids that are D's and F's continue to fall down in that hole because they're not using the time as they should. They're leaving campus and getting coffee, or they're going and smoking weed or vaping or whatever. And so there's the problem. And so there's been talk about maybe moving it to a different time instead of the middle of the day like it is. It's still a good idea. We just need to work some bugs out of it.
And so, do you think that having Smart Lunch was more effective, or do you think that Smart Time was okay?
I didn't like either one of them, to be honest with you. There's been talk, and it's not anything solid, but like moving it to like the end of the day. That way, at least the kids that don't want to participate will get off campus and stay off campus instead of coming back high, or getting in trouble with law enforcement out on the street. That might help a little bit. I don't know how many of the AV students would actually stay here and utilize it, so that's always up for question. But I've not been a big fan of it just because there's no accountability. Like, you don't have to go to a class and check in, and so we don't know where anybody's at for sure. And for a half an hour, if I needed to find a kid, I don't know where they're at.
Okay. And so the last one is, why was Smart Lunch changed to Smart Time?
Because it was so willy-nilly, to be honest with you. There was just no control. And then if you had the Smart Time butted up to your lunch, I mean, theoretically, you could be gone for an hour. And so so the idea of moving it was so that you didn't have that big window to go and do things you shouldn't be. But kids are still doing it.
Okay. Thank you.
You're welcome.
How will you know when Smart Time is actually being accomplished?
Well, I think the data would show. Originally, the reason why Smart Time was implemented to help close the achievement gap between students and our upper level group of students. And once that achievement gap closes, then I would feel comfortable saying that it's being successful.
Okay. The next question I have is, how long are you planning on keeping or going forward with using Smart Time?
Well, we've been utilizing Smart Time for in some fashion, approximately 4 years. I want to say we started with Smart Lunch, which was an hour and a half block of time. Then a year later, we modified it to what we currently use. And right now, I would say that it's still not really effective. It's not really being utilized the way that it was intended. Originally, it was for reteaching, concepts to those students that didn't grasp it the first time. Excuse me, but a lot of times staff members have gone away and have used that block of time for makeups, and the students that who should be getting that extra enrichment or just helping them to understand a concept. It's not a whole bunch of reteaching going on. What you see students, the ones, the lower level kids, a lot of them are skipping out. It's a 30-minute break in the morning, and some of your higher level kids, they're utilizing it. But then some of those students are going out getting Starbucks. It's just like, okay, well, if you have transportation and if you can hit a door before a staff member get there, or either you have a number of kids that just kind of roam around, I'm looking for a class to go into, and then they waste like 15, 20 minutes wandering the hallways. So it's not really being effective, and then you have a lot of some students that are being extremely disrespectful to staff when they try to redirect them. If they inquire, hey, where are you going? It's a lot. It's very frustrating. that the opportunity is there and that so many students are not taking advantage that could truly benefit from smart time. So it is what it is.
So the next question I have is, do you think that having smart lunch was more effective than smart time?
I would say no.
Yeah.
I would say no because then it was an hour and a half for students to roam, and it's really a lot of time, unstructured time for some students that don't know how to prioritize. You know, kids can go out. Some kids would go home, take a nap in the middle of the day. Great. Other kids would go out and just do wrong. It's like when we have these assemblies, students that opt to go out. Some of them go out, smoke, come back high. With that unstructured time. You open up yourself to liabilities. Car accidents. What if students, because there's no way, it's too many doors for us to have staff members trying to block every door. The students putting rocks in doors and they take off a class because some teachers allow them to leave class a few minutes early, and then all of a sudden you got a mad rush and kids running across the street, and it's only so many, 1,800 students compared to 100 staff members or 130 staff members. I can't grab 18 kids myself, and I know everybody else. I'm not gonna grab 18 kids, So it causes a lot of frustration, and especially with the level of disrespect that there are some students that'll come back, but then others that's just totally disrespectful to you, and it's just like nobody goes, come to work to be totally disrespected, and then when you call a kid out, then they're like, well, man, why are you coming at me like this? Why you disrespecting me? And it's just like I'm asking you a question, and it's just very frustrating.
And so the last question I have is, why was smart lunch changed to smart time?
Well, number one, that it was too much unstructured time. Students couldn't handle it. There was an incident where a young lady got shot, over smart time. She was took the left, wrong place, wrong time, got caught up in the situation. How many times have we heard of things or haven't heard of things taking place? You hear students wanting to meet up at Seminole Valley and get into altercations, over the weekend. It's just kids just that unstructured time. Kids just aren't ready to handle that. Not all kids. The vast majority are not ready to handle it. I mean, we look at some kids aren't even ready to handle that sense of freedom when they go to college. We have kids that kind of go to college and mess up and do wrong, and next thing you know, they're right back here. It's just like, man, I made some bad choices. Sometimes it's just kids like structure, and when I say kids, just all ages, they like that structure, and sometimes we do more damage when we don't. Like students like to be disciplined, even though like as young people, we get frustrated with our parents when our parents are trying to help shape and mold us to be young adults. We don't like it, but then we can also look at our peers where you can see, oh, man, their parents not on their head, they're out of control. And it's just like sometimes it's embarrassing. And I've had some kids, like, I don't want to go anywhere. I'm cool with them, but I don't want to, I don't hang out with them like that because they know, they see that, young people aren't blind. And, my thing is, they say, what's the old saying? Oh man, what is that saying? Be careful of the friends you keep, or man, it's a saying, but it's and it slips my mind right now. But you have to be cautious of the people that you hang around with because you don't want to be lumped into that group, So.
All right. So the first question that we have for you is, are there any problems with the parking lots during smart time?
Not that I'm aware of.
Okay. So next question is, why was smart lunch changed to smart time?
Because it was too long. It was like an hour and a half. And that's just too long to have that much freedom. Plus, we didn't know where the students were during that time. So parents were trying to get a hold of them or a teacher or administrator or, it's too too much time.
Alright, so the next question, around how many kids leave during smart time per day? Like, what do you think is like
I guess around 200.
a
It'll get more as it gets nicer.
Yeah, that's true. Next question that we have, this is the last one. So what do you believe should like be the consequence for those kids that leave the school first?
I don't think there should be any consequence. If you want to leave, that's up to you. My issue is the students that are in the building, that they go somewhere, because we have it posted, on Monday, here's the open rooms, here are the tutorials, then, the students should be able to look, well, let's see, today is, Tuesday, let me look, let's see what Wednesday has available. So then they just go there rather than wandering around. It's just silly how. Okay, so I don't really have an issue. If that's how you want to spend it, it's your time. So I don't have a problem with that.
Alright. That's it.